that gave you as many feels as it did me, then just know, gentle viewer, that you and I share a Disney kinship. Welcome to another episode of Top 5. I am a huge Disney fan and nerd. I own just a couple of these movies on Blu-ray. And today I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite Disney movies. Now these are just the top 5 animated Disney movies, so sorry, Homeward Bound. Once again, these are just my personal 5 favorites. These aren't what I think are necessarily the best or most important, just my top 5 favorites. Number 5, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. While this movie isn't perfect, the good stuff in it is really, really good. For one thing, it's probably the most adult Disney movie. I mean, there's deformity, there's evil religious people, there's vibrato. I love how epic this movie is. I love how dramatic and intense it gets. I would say that probably the only one thing that feels off is the gargoyles. They're weird. Number 4, Bambi. If Terrence Malick made a Disney movie, it would probably look like this. I feel like this is a movie that people see when they're really young and then never really watch again because they're like, oh, it's just a little wimpy deer movie. And don't get me wrong, there's some cute little woodland critter sequences that go on a little too long. This movie is such an atmospheric look at the joys and sorrows and fears of life. And I find it to be one of the more deeply moving Disney films that exists. And yes, I cried when Bambi's mom died. I mean, do you think I have no soul? Number 3, Sleeping Beauty. Talk about some of the most amazing animation that exists. This classic fairy tale is about 3 fairies who defeat an evil sorceress. Oh, and I think there's like a princess, but she's asleep through most of the thing. So I really love the animation style and how it kind of looks like a stained glass window. For me, this movie just really captures the magic quality that is Disney, as corny as that sounds. Number 2, Fantasia. At the height of Walt Disney's animated movie-making capabilities, he creates this magnum opus. This movie combines hand-drawn animation with classical music and was more of an experiment to just push the boundaries of what animation can do. And just to put it simply, the movie is a masterpiece. Now before I reveal my number 1, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Beauty and the Beast. Now for me, this is a perfect movie, or at least as perfect as a movie can get. The characters are wonderful, the music is great, the story, it just makes me, the end makes me cry every time. This movie represents the high point of Disney's genius work in the 90s. And I stand by that I think this is probably the best movie that they've ever put out. So what were your favorites? Go ahead and write in the comments, Frozen, no! Go ahead, do your worst, I can take it. But be nice, too, at the same time. Don't be mean. I would love to hear what you have to say. Also, please subscribe. I could play Walt Disney, right? This is my roommate's comb, by the way.